Morning everyone, how are you doing? Well, it's a bit different this time to last time we spoke. The temperature, even though it's pretty cold now, 2 or 3 degrees, but it's quite early in the morning. Only a week or so ago it was deep in snow here and frost and ice, and this week we've had the mercury touch 17 degrees at some point, so it's been very spring-like, and I suppose that's quite fitting given that it's St David's Day on Monday, and being part Welsh, that's a day I look forward to every year. So I'm also picking up at work that it seems to be a shift in how we're feeling, and we've done a few surveys around different parts of the business, and certainly there's more optimism about what's to come, and whether it's down to our the vaccination rates, or it's down to a roadmap that may be out of some of the lockdown measures, or maybe it's just seeing more signs of really good growth in the business. Who knows, but it's great to see. And the nice thing is it's happening in the garden as well, so that snow didn't do much damage really here, and actually we've got crocuses and daffodils popping through. We've dug over the garden, we've put the seeds in for chilies and tomatoes, and I'll come to that shortly. But it just feels like yeah, spring is here, and it's always a good thing to have. So on today's menu we've got a few different things. Did a seed swap earlier this year with Sam Prince. I'm going to pot up some of her marigolds here and show you how to do that. We're going to walk around the garden and look at some of the things we've put in, and look at some of how the seeds are going, because already in a week we've seen the chilies and tomatoes pop through, so it's been a really good week of growth and change. So I'll leave it there, and I would normally pop back in now and watch a bit of cricket, but given the last test match ended in 2 days, that's a bit of a shame for me, but hopefully we've got one more to go, and next week we'll be able to watch that. But for now, I'll wander around the garden and I'll come back and see you at the end. So let's start with a bit of colour, shall we? Well, you can see here, these are the crocuses, and because it's a bit early, they're not really popping through yet, and you can't see them in their full glory, but you can see here a sort of purple one amongst the yellow. It's really nice to see. And our daffs in the back garden aren't out yet, but they're coming, and we'll show you those in the front garden. But the primroses are starting to say hello, which is lovely. And at the back here, I've taken the sweet peas out of their pots, and now I'm planting them against the fence. So we've got them all along the back, and that should give us some lovely colour. The thistles, sorry, not the thistles, the heather is also coming into a bit of colour as well, which is nice. And this time of year, it just feels like the garden's waking up again. And then wandering along, just more and more life, and more digging over the soil. And we really thought that was important to do after that snow and rain, is to get some life into it. And we're probably going to put some manure down as well now while we can. If you look at this, the rose bush here, you can see the buds already coming through. So we know there's life to come, and actually really looking forward to seeing what will grow. And you can see that again on the mulberry bush. The buds show signs of life. The jostaberry looks fantastic, and it'll give us some lovely fruit later in the year. Rosemary is in flower, or about to flower, which is nice. Peas at the back, so the winter peas survived the snow, and you can see the first flower there from the peas, so we shouldn't be too far away from getting some produce from that, which would be nice. The bird feed has been a success. This is emptied every day mainly by starlings, but we've got a few other birds as well coming through. And then wandering along again, the blackcurrant bush again is in bud and looking really well. The primulas showing signs of life there. Then wandering back along here, through the bits and pieces, and then some more bulbs here popping through the grass in the garden. So that's the back garden, which is looking really good. Let's pop into the front now. I won't spend too long at the front because the whole street's waking up now, and a few cars are going past. But as you can see behind me, the daffs are out, so happy St David's Day to all you Welsh followers out there. And we've got a few daffs are just coming to join us, and there's some crocuses here, and the tulips and the irises won't be far behind that, so that's really encouraging and lovely for the neighbours to see as well as they walk past the house. Well, I'm back indoors now, and I'm going to hand over to Kevin in his garden in Hampshire to show you his Lent lilies.
Hi there, it's a beautiful day and I'm here to talk to you about wild daffodils, and I'm showing you here a clump of wild daffodils that grow in my garden. Wild daffodils are rare in the UK now because of intensive farming and agriculture. They have been highlighted in poetry in the past, Houseman's poetry about the Lent lily and Wordsworth poetry. They're small, beautiful daffodils. They're paler and creamier than garden cultivars. The hybridization with garden cultivars is a potential problem for these wild daffodils, so I don't grow any other daffodils in this garden but this wild clump of daffodils. They are also associated with this time of year. They're called the Lent lily because they appear at the beginning of Lent and they die out by Easter. So here they are. They're smaller and paler and creamier than the garden cultivar, and they're a beautiful plant.
That was great, Kevin. Thanks very much. And it's lovely to see another garden. So if you've got any ideas from your garden or you want to show off a video, please just let me know. Now, next up, I'll be looking at marigold seeds and planting those. So first things first, what container you need. So here is a nice little mushroom container. Here are some marigold seeds sent through to me by Sam Prince as part of our seed swap. I'm going to take a small pinch of those and lay them over the top. Be quite generous in terms of where you put them over. Then we're going to put another layer of compost on top of those. So now you can see in here, a few not covered there, but make sure that's covered. Then we're going to lay some water on top of that and just sprinkle it over the top, make sure it's well watered. Then we're going to pop some cellophane over the top of the container. Make sure it's reasonably well secured, and then put it on top of well, windowsill is the best place to put it really, sunlight, and if you can a bit of heat, and then no need to water it anymore, and give it sort of a couple of weeks and you'll start seeing the first signs of growth coming through there. So trust me on that, and I'm going to go upstairs now and show you some I did last week which have already started showing signs of coming through. And here we are in the best traditions of any proper TV show. Here's one I made earlier. So these were put out last week on my dad's birthday on the 20th of February. And we've got a variety of tomatoes, chilies, and some flowers as well. And this one here nearest us, if you just peek inside, you can see we've got plenty of little bits growing, and the one next door, even more so. That's a week, and that's some chilies in there. And these are the marigolds in here. So simple, as I've just shown you. Get a tub, fill it with compost, put the seeds in, another little layer of compost on top of them, put the bag on top of them, near a heat source, near a light source, and meant to put a stick in there, and be better than me because use a permanent marker. I know what it is, but you can't read that very well. And hopefully you'll get returns like I'm getting. Well, that's all for this week. Back again in 2 weeks' time. Any videos, please send them my way. I'll leave you with a wonderful shot of the sky today, which is fantastic.